Hi everyone, this is Cindy from Life of Oneness, and I just wanted to share something with you and invite you to become a part of a group I'm creating. I'll be starting a Patreon group soon where you can really affordably keep in touch with me and I can keep in touch with you, and you can become part of a wonderful group of evolving souls like yourself. But first I wanted to explain to you what it is that I do. I've had a lot of people lately ask me to try and distill it down in a nutshell what it is that I do. But first I wanted to give you a little bit of a background so that you can understand where I'm coming from. My journey started a long time ago. I could say with my mother's death, when I was first introduced to healing energy from a healer that was praying over my mother, and my mother was dying of cancer, and so I for the first time felt a surge of this electricity go through my arms as this woman was praying over my mother, and she was supposed to be a faith healer, and it shocked me, because I was raised Christian and Catholic, and so that whole thing just terrified me. But funny enough, I became a healer later in life, but that's another story. However, it set me on a journey. So my mother's death really put me on a path of wondering what happened to her. Like, where did she go? And so fast forward, I went through a lot of phases of ups and downs, of denouncing God, becoming agnostic, getting into more kind of like the darker occult kind of punk energy, and then I kind of shifted from that into doing drugs and all sorts of things. And so but all of those things that I did actually were tuning me into where I was going. I'm not promoting any type of drug usage, but I would say every part of my path has allowed me to open more. And so seeing those what was considered, falling down moments were actually moments to open another doorway, for me to become and choose to be more in alignment with my true higher self. And so I really honor those times, and I'm really grateful for those times that just kept pushing me along my path, no matter what I was doing. And so that's the lesson that I want to share with you, is that no matter where you are, where you feel like you're stuck in your life, or where you want to go, if you're just kind of awakening to your own spirituality, trying to heal the past, trying to move forward, all of the things that have been happening to you have been part of your path to help you choose to align with yourself more and more and more by saying yes to this and no to that. Fast forwarding into my life, I got to a point where, I just started to realize there was something else to this world, and things started happening to me that I couldn't explain. I was getting psychic visions about things. I was having premonitions about people before I met them. Just random things I couldn't explain, talking to spirits, and then validating, finding out who the spirit actually was after the fact. And so, beyond trying to commit myself thinking that I was crazy, luckily I did not, thankfully. But it caused a lot of anxiety and panic and fear in me. And so, I had to learn how to manage the anxiety, because I realized I was opening up to all these new sensitivities and new realities and new, being in tune with things and feeling things that other people didn't feel, feeling empathic with people and psychic and hearing their thoughts and feeling. And so, I had to learn how to figure this out, how to decipher what's my thought and what's theirs. And it caused a lot of great anxiety, because I was just feeling a lot of things, not realizing that they weren't really my own feelings or thoughts, but I was feeling the world. And so this led me to, seek spiritual teachers and stuff to help me learn how to clean and clear my energy, so that I can have my clear focused mind for what it is that I need to do for my life and my path and my purpose, but also to eliminate a whole world of anxiety when I get around large groups of people, or especially around people that are drinking. It just, the energy gets a little dysfunctional and I have to kind of step away. So a lot of younger kids now have these sensitivities, but they're misdiagnosed as like depression or things like that, because they don't realize a lot of the stuff they're feeling isn't even theirs. They're just feeling the world. And you may be feeling that way too, but I'm just seeing a lot more teens are just kind of naturally this way, and they're very sensitive to what's happening in the world, and it impacts them physically and emotionally and energetically. So, you know, I started studying Reiki and reconnective healing and all that, and that energy attunement really shifted my life and shifted me out of the marriage that I was in that wasn't in alignment with my spiritual beliefs or where my spirit was going. You know, and at the time I was married and I had the house and the car and the job, and we traveled and had friends and, you know, beautiful garden and all that stuff. And my husband cheated on me, and, you know, but it all happened for a good reason, because, you know, I wasn't lining up where he was going. He wasn't lining up where I was going. And so that contrast between us was just too great. And so something had to cause the break. And so that was the, you know, straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. And so, you know, I moved to the mountains and moved on to an ashram. And, you know, it just helped me to have a large awakening by being removed from everything that was in my life. You know, my family, my friends, my home, everybody I knew that I grew up with, and the town that I just moved away from. And so I kind of found myself just being with me and nobody else. And there was nobody there to define me or to shape me or to influence me. And it was kind of a terrifying event, because I didn't even have a friend to go have tea with, let alone pick up the phone and call locally. And, you know, I was living with monks who meditate and don't want to socialize, you know. So, you know, it was very like stripping away of all the old parts of me. And I got to a place of grief that was so great that, you know, I literally laid in bed for 2 days and cried, and just got to this point of, you know, I wasn't trying to die, but I was like, I'm just going to lay here, and I don't care if I do die, because I'm not going to keep repeating these same patterns over and over again that led me to this place where I'm now divorced and not in alignment with myself. And so I had a huge transformation happen, big connection with, you know, feeling like I was just spiraling down this black hole, and I just allowed myself to completely let go. I was surrendering to whatever was happening. I was surrendering to whatever I wanted to let go, and then it was like this black elastic layer part of my soul just snapped free. And when I woke up from this kind of lucid crying state of 2 days, I was in a very lucid state, and when I had that break free, it was almost like I was reborn again. I would say that I was definitely had like a rebirthing death experience personally. And so I even felt at one point I left my body and I came back in and just reintegrated in a whole new way. And so that's where my children's book was born, Playing with Gaia. And that, because when I woke up from that experience, I immediately walked outside and just looked at my skin, and I looked at the textures, and I looked at the flowers and the sun and the animals, and it was like I had never really seen them before. It was just like a child being born for the first time, and, you know, looking at their hands and looking at nature and looking under every rock with such curiosity and amazement. And you know, then I wrote the children's book Playing with Gaia, which is about connecting with nature and finding whatever it is that you need, because before all of that, I had defined my happiness by who I was, by who I was with, my friends around me, my family, but not really based on me, and so, or what I wanted, or who I was. And so when I let go of that ego identity that was tethered to something else, then it was just purely me, and that was very naked and scary and frightening at first. But then when that ego layer snapped free, then I was able to surrender into the true parts of myself and really see the beauty and the life and the support and the love and the listening and the grounding and the embrace that's found in everything around me, in nature, and, you know, the trees and the river and the ground and the sunlight and all of those things that are always there supporting us. And so, you know, throughout this journey, I've developed, you know, through the awakenings that I've had, through the messages that have come through the challenges and struggles that I've had, I've developed a ebook workbook called Life of Oneness, and you can download that from my website at lifeofoneness.com if you like. But I also am offering this Patreon group where we can go through different layers of that experience and wisdom and knowledge that I've developed over the years, so that someone like you who may be on the path and on the journey of awakening and just having difficulties and struggles, and there's patterns of clearing and healing that you need to let go of the old paradigms, because we're definitely shifting into a new earth, we're shifting into a new you, a new me, and as a collective we're moving together through this time. And so the more people that come and join and be a part of this collective group, the greater the transformation is going to be, because it's like that 100th monkey theory, that the more people we can get involved in this to become a part of this group and this movement, the greater the transformation is going to be for all of us. So now, what is it that I'm going to be doing and sharing with you is sharing that experience, that knowledge, and the technique that I've developed to help move you through some of these stuck places, but also offer you energy upgrades, downloads, alignments for whatever it is that's coming through. We're all shifting together. Because where we're going is moving towards unconditional love for ourselves and for the collective. And we're letting go of a lot of the old paradigms, the separation, the fear programs, the narcissistic relationships with family or with spouses or partners, and moving into a place of self-love and unity with divine love and unconditional love. And so there's going to be a part of shedding the old you and moving into the new you. And so with these shifting energies, you're going to be letting go of the old you, and you're going to be moving through a new doorway to your higher self, to your more pure self, to your more divine self, so that you can be a part of that collective shift in that movement. And so how do I do that? What I'm offering is different levels of Patreon membership, which can be either just receiving daily inspirations to help kind of shift your focus and keep you on track. And the other one is through podcast and just talking about the current energies of what's happening. Sometimes that can include current downloads of energies where everyone is shifting, where the gateway and the portals are opening, or it can be just a simple energetic program and download to help you heal and clear the spaces for yourself, for your energy to align with that higher part of you. And then there's also the option of being part of an AMA, which is an Ask Me Anything, where we get together monthly as a group and we can have a question and answer about the life coaching ebook workbook, like 0 to Oneness, or it can be anything about the healing work that I do, private sessions. It can be anything about any questions you have about your psychic intuitive abilities and developing and how to manage that. So everything that I'm offering basically is to help you ascend, to evolve through that gateway, through that portal to the new earth, and help to clear away all of those old patterns and stuck energies, and help you shift and move forward into that pure light and love being that you know that you are, and have that experience of living in that unconditional love vibration and being able to surround yourself with people and experiences that reflect that as well. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about this. I look forward to launching this soon. So just keep posted, and I will share it with you as soon as I get it all tightly, neatly put together in a perfect package for all of you. And many blessings to all of you.